All right, Malin Ahlgren.
Yes.
Yes. Welcome to the interview.
Thank you.
Gearing up for 2021, and we all sort of, didn't we all have a bit of a strange year? And it's certainly, you know, COVID, such a tragedy in many parts, but there were positive things happening in 2020 as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit, because I know you had some really exciting news at the end of the year, 2020.
Yeah, for my personal life or professional life, it's actually been a really good year. You can't really say that because it's a tragic year, but for me, it's been good.
What happened?
I just got offer to become a partner at the patent firm I'm working at, Strömming Gulliksson. And I also got a part of the management team.
Yeah.
So I'm now head of all our
Head of what?
Head of what? I'm head of all our 15 paralegals.
You paralegal? Yeah. For anyone who doesn't live in the patent world, what does a? I think I know what a paralegal, but I'll give it to you to explain. What does a paralegal do?
They do everything, actually. All the administrative work. They keep so that I can manage my deadlines and that all taxes are paid, all the deadlines are met, that you clients, that you respond in time to us, and so on.
Yeah. So Vicky Olsson is part of your team.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think she's doing a great job, and I think also. I have a good friend of Wihlborg's Hans Andersson, Charlotte Andersson. She's also, so I know some paralegals.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they're a very important part of.
Well, being part of now I know that was announced sort of. I think wasn't it October, November that you were part of the management team, but now if we look at the made a partner, what does that mean for you? That you are made a partner?
Yeah, for me, it's a real commitment to show to me, to the other partners, and to my clients as well, that I am in this for the long run. That Strömming Gulliksson is the firm to be at. And yeah, for me, Strömming Gulliksson is what I want in a patent firm. We always strive to have high quality and to have a good customized service. And the last part is very important to me, that I'm able to have like long-term relationships with my clients.
Yeah. And
so
you started,
really nice.
You didn't start initially with us because we had John Hoard, who I think he left for Thailand, but you took over the gesture sort of portfolio of ours, don't you? So you're managing that for us.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's been 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah, I know, time flies.
Yeah. It does. And I actually been a part of Crunchfish even earlier, since my team manager, Björn Andersson, has been working with you a long time.
Yeah. No, I think he split that. Well, now you have the gesture portfolio, I guess. We lead, and then anything to do with what we call proximity, and that would be food waste, it would be digital cash, a bubble, or what we call nearby, as well as Blipit. It's more on Björn is sort of the lead there, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So we're sharing.
Yeah. No, that's good. But also we have to comment also that because we see games together sometimes. Malmö winning again, Malmö vann igen.
Yeah.
But
it's.
But wasn't it weird that we couldn't see any games, Malin?
It felt really, really weird. I was at one game 2020, the first one in Europe League.
Yeah.
But that was in February or so. So since then, it's been a dry, very strange season.
So I have a question for you. This might be very hard for you. Would you have a year where you can't see any games and Malmö winning, like 2020, or a year where you can see games and Malmö does well but doesn't win the league? Which year would you prefer?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that beforehand. Before 2020, I would say winning is the most important. Winning is winning.
Yeah.
But now I'm not so sure.
No.
I think being there is part of the fun. This goal doesn't feel the same. So No, I would rather choose a crappy year, but where I can stand on the stands and scream. And
yeah, because you're one of the hooligans, aren't you? You always, because sometimes we meet before the game, you and me, and with Björn and some others, but then you can't sit with us. You know, no. With the people in the ties, you sit with the, you know, at the stands. Really, that's sort of where you always need to be, sort of.
Yeah, that's true. I don't really know why, but I think it's the range of emotions you can experience when you're standing in a group of people that you don't know, and it's such a diversity of people at the stands.
Yeah.
In age and cultural background and works, and yeah, I think it's amazing. Just when someone scores a goal and you end up hugging 20 people you never met before.
Yeah, exactly. That's perfect in COVID. There's no risk for spreading disease.
No. Exactly.
Yeah,
no,
that's
so
why they don't
really
allow
any. Understand why. I can understand why we haven't been able to be.
Yeah, I think it's your behavior that stops the rest of us from going to football.
Could be.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good.
It's going to be amazing in 2021 now, this year. To go at the game again. I hope.
Yeah, I hope so. But I think it might actually. I think this might. We're hearing a lot of companies, they're not opening up until summer, so don't bet on it that it will start sort of already.
No, not directly, but in summer I need some football.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go crazy otherwise.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. Hey, looking at Crunchfish and the portfolio you're handling, as if we dive into gestures, really. What do you think about our portfolio there? Because if I do my count, I think we have 12 unique innovations, of which 11 is already granted, at least in one market.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we have 20 granted patents in total.
If you count also countries, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
but I tend to look at sort of one innovation, unique innovation. So we have 12 unique innovations that. And then if I have it granted in one market, then I think it's almost, you know, if I apply for 10 markets, I don't think it gets 10 times better, if you see what I mean. No. I think I tend to count granted innovations in any one market. So then I think it is 12 innovations and then 11, which is already, we're waiting, I think, for one. We did a split innovation. What is that called?
Divisional.
Yeah, divisional. We did a divisional that we divided one application for Europe, I think. That's the one we're waiting for.
Yeah. How to activate the camera and so on.
Yeah.
That was, yeah.
And looking at a little bit because I think it's hard because we have so much patent in our company. I think if you count per sort of, even including countries, I think we're soon up to 100 sort of innovations in countries. I think in total, I think my count is 38 unique innovations. 28 is already granted in any one market. But if I count all the nationalizations we've done, we're soon at 100, which is...
It's so amazing. I must say that. I have to state that I'm truly amazed. But in the number of patents is one thing, but that you have so many different innovations, that's really impressive.
Yeah, I think there are, as you said, five solution areas. I did a count yesterday in front of this. So I think we have 12 innovations in gesture, 11 is already granted. Yeah. In the area of nearby, where it's all about connecting to anything and anybody in nearby, we have 13 innovations and 12 is already granted. In food waste, we have 1 innovation already granted. And then we have, within Blipit, we have 6 innovations, 5 is already granted. And then there is digital cash, 6 innovations there as well. So we're really going quite, this is all 2020 and they haven't even been examined yet.
No, exactly.
None of them is sort of, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, you're truly a highly innovative company. I would say, I would be impressed if you had employees in the rounds of hundreds, but I think you're like 25 or so.
Yeah.
So it's really impressive. And not only that you file a lot of applications, they have a really high success rate.
Yeah.
I mean, you have patents everywhere in all your fields. Yeah, except for digital cash because it's so new. But
yeah, but that's the most. I really believe this area is so transformational. So this is the area I have highest hope. You know, given the hit rate we've had in all the other areas, I am dead certain that we will get something in the digital cash area, because any payment experts I've been talking about with the digital cash is sort of, because digital payments up to today has always been an online. It's an online thing. You pay with a card, and the payment terminal need to check online whether you have enough money, or it's a mobile payment, and then it's typically it has to go online as well. But we've done something which is completely offline. We settle offline, and then we just store the transactions, and then we send them up later. But the key thing is that we separate it in 2 steps, and no one had thought of that.
That has to be novel.
It is novel.
Yeah, I think so. And if it's novel, yeah, it's gonna be inventive as well. So I think you are really good.
Yeah, I think we will get that one, and that one will be a super duper commercial patent to have.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward. But look at gestures. This is sort of your area. You mentioned that we were waiting a little bit for one, because that's one area that we have. These 12 innovations, if we group them, the way I've always seen that one group is about camera activation and possibly camera deactivation, because we want to run these, in order to do gesture control, we need a camera. You can have that if they're smart glasses, or it could be if you're using a mobile phone, and running a camera consumes power. And we have some really quite cool patterns in terms of deactivation, turning the camera off, but also turning it on, I think.
Exactly. Yeah, and you have deactivate the camera if you recognize that no gestures are detected.
Yeah.
That's one patent. And then you have another one that you use passive sensors, using ambient light and proximity sensors to
these sensors are, that's sort of like, they're built in mobile phones, for instance, that if you put your phone close to your ear, it turns on. There is a sensor, this ambient light sensor, always on, and it sort of senses that, and we are using that in order to activate the camera, because that's always running. So in some way. But it's a cool pattern in order to.
Yeah, it's really simple.
Yeah.
Simple, and that's the best part. I love the inventions that are simple. They use existing technology to just reuse its use.
Yeah, I agree. So we have deactivation. If nothing is happening, turn off the camera as soon as you can, because nothing is happening. We have activation with ambient. But I think wasn't there another one?
You have the activation using the tilt of the device as well.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's a really cool one as well.
Yeah, so you tilt it a bit, and maybe this could be a way, if you do this with the smart glasses, you turn on the camera. It could be like that. And it's kind of cool things, when, because we really believe in a future where smart glasses will come about in a big way. And if we have patents here that, because you really, in these mobile devices, power conservation, not using power, is key, because you don't want to drain the battery. So that it is quite important, those patents that we sit with, and we have them in quite a few markets as well.
Exactly. I think in US, China, Germany, UK, France, Sweden. I mean, it's big main countries.
And having this is that, but I think it's when we get it in China, it means that you can't manufacture anything in China and sold in any market in the world, because that's patented. And likewise, no, you can't come from Brazil, which we haven't patented in, but they can't sell into China. So it's protected. The country protection goes both ways, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's the wise way to protect, to take like US and China and some parts of Europe. Because if you are a startup company or another company, if you can't use those markets, it's not going to fly. You need US and China and Europe. So.
Yeah, no, I agree. You know, so if we have those with digital cash, though, you believe me, I'm gonna overspend. I gonna take any. No, I wouldn't take every country in the world, but I made a long list to Björn, your colleague, that we're gonna go for not just those countries. We're gonna go wide, and we're gonna go many emerging markets as well. You know, certainly India. You know, Japan, Korea, Indonesia, any sort of where there's a lot of people.
Yeah, but that's smart because that's more like a method, right? Method of using and the idea. Then it's not a product in that sense. That
well, we do actually protect. There is a method, but it's also a system patent. But it's also we protect the product of the customer's phone also actually.
Yeah. Okay.
But the main thing is the method. You're right.
Yeah.
The main thing is the method. So let's back to gesture. So we have things for you know, camera activation and deactivations, and then I think because I knew I did this grouping for when we described it in I think in when we did our last sort of financing round. You always have to explain to the investors what we have. I don't know if anyone looked at it, but it's a good way to try to group it because it's hard to understand every single patent and
and just read the patent claims. It's hard for people that are not into patent.
But people can, I think, grouping it into 3 groups, like camera activation, deactivation. People can understand. It's great for power consumption. That's sort of
exactly
there. Then I think I had one group which was UX or user experience or a sort of
how you interact with the device and so on.
How you interact, and what do we? I don't know. I don't have it in front of me because I came into this meeting, as you saw. I had to start with the coffee, so I am ill prepared. But so I see you have something in front of you. So what do we have in this area, Malin?
I have to have some notes. Then you have since you have so many patents, I can't keep them all in my head. You have one patent family that is directed at how you enable user authentication through randomized gesture patents. I think that one is really cool.
Actually. If you think of it on a screen, you have a keypad, so you put in a pin. But what you can do with smart glasses, if you imagine you can see in front of you that keypad, and you can sort of do that sort of 5, 3, 9, 6. But what we thought of, let's randomize of how we display that keypad. Because anyone could see you in the air, sort of, so they understand what your password is, but they won't see if we scramble the numbers. So every time you do it, we scramble the numbers. But so it's a logging function, actually, for smart glasses using a randomized sort of keypad.
I remember when I saw that invention first, I was like, oh, it's really smart.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool.
Really inventive and thinking outside of the box. I love it.
So that was one for.
That was one.
We have,
And then we have more easy, maybe, to increase the mobile device screen light if you can't recognize the gesture. It's hands-on.
Yeah, this is a little bit on the mobile side because you know, there is if this is dark. One thing, you know, there is some sort of light from the screen itself, and we're thinking that you could actually lighten up the screen a little bit more, so you're getting more sort of light. That would consume more power, but just to be able to do gesture control. If it's too dark, then that's sort of a remedy to provide more light from the screen itself, so the camera can detect the pretty cool. Cool. Yeah.
And then we have the nonlinear. They enable the increased gesture movement resolution. Yeah,
I remember that one. That I think we only have that one in Sweden, but it's also a pretty cool one, actually. It's sort of that. It's also a little bit for the. I think maybe it's also for AR VR, but we thought it for a mobile. Then that when you are, you know, it is like if you're really zoomed in. It could be so small, and if you move sort of a little bit in depth, we're thinking that should scale up sort of the resolution. so it becomes easy to sort of interact. So it's a nonlinear scaling. That's what we're thinking. So it's actually expands very, very quickly instead of just having a sort of sort of a linear scaling. We do a logarithmic scaling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's it's a little bit.
It's a cool feature.
Yeah, and it might be needed for some things. The one I like a lot actually is the one that it's for VR and AR as well. Is that because you can imagine if you have a screen, you can see things on the screen and you know what to do, and but AR VR glasses, you are in open air, and it's how do you and what gesture will you do in order to do something? And we can provide some transparent gestures a little bit that I can see a transparent hand, which gives you some guidance that here you should do this pinch movement. So give that sort of guidance for a user. I think, and it might be different for different buttons, but we can cue the user to understands what to do. I think I like that one.
Yeah, sort of tooltips.
Tooltips.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
And I actually think you have 2 patent applications covering that invention.
Okay. We might. Is that for some reason? Why do we have 2?
I think overlapping.
Oh yeah.
It was good to have overlapping.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm like you. I can't remember all our patent applications. They've become too many.
And then we have on the similar topic to provide deep feedback, screen depth feedback.
Yeah.
For the 3-dimensional space, sort of.
Oh yeah, that was probably this is probably my only one in gesture area, because that was mine. I have loads of innovation in the other areas, but this one, yes, I think that was a little bit.
You have so many.
Yeah, too many. Yeah, this was long ago, 2013 or something. Because
exactly.
Most of these applications were filed in 2012, 2013. So it's they go way back. If you ask me about digital cash, which we all filed 6 of them in 2020, I can do them in my sleep. But this one it's been a while. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's and then we have a third area as well. So we have how you interact, power savings, and then in gestures we have also something which is more about the algorithm, how they work, their efficiency, their performance, to get that ratio right between. I think we have some. This is some of our initial patents, I think, in this area to how we do detection, how we do tracking.
Yeah, exactly.
A bunch of things.
More technical in the sense.
Yeah.
How you use relative angles rather than absolute angles.
Yeah, things like that, which is sort of very, this is sort of not so related to the user, but there are some smartness there in order to, be more flexible.
Reduce the calculations and computational energy needed.
Would you say, this is, maybe I should answer this, but is this a good portfolio, would you say?
Of course. It is. Yeah, but it is.
That because you're handling it.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I think it's a very good variation that you have something on a computational level and you have some on more the interaction that the user can see, as well as more power saving that you have in different kinds of fields.
Yeah.
Not only covering the hardware or the software, or not only the user interface.
Yeah,
you have a really good mix.
Yeah, no, I agree. How is it to work with us? Because I know I work a lot with Björn, but because and we haven't, because you sort of took over this portfolio from John, and you've been in the background. But your experience working with Crunchfish, how has it been?
Very, very good. I love working with patents, mostly because you get to meet so inspiring and energetic people. And you are definitely one of them. Just pumping out new ideas all the time, rethinking old ideas, and just think outside the box. And that's what I love about this work.
Yeah.
So you're a perfect client for me.
Oh, thank you. If you look at the crystal ball, Malin, sort of where, you know, a company like us, extremely innovative, you know, per capita, if we count that way in a company, I think we must be top in the world, having, we have more granted patents than we have employees. I don't think many companies have that, unless they're one person show.
Exactly. No, I think you could be, I don't have all the numbers, but I think at our firm, you have to be the highest ratio compared to employees.
Yeah, no, I think so too.
I would be surprised otherwise.
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah, I agree.
And I don't really see, and I don't want to see any change in that regard. So
no, we continue. I think it's been, it is important for us. And I had this interview in the first season with Björn Andersson, and we talked more about why we do patenting and so on. It didn't go really into what we have, but I think it is important, because the big ones, if we come up with a great idea, the big companies they will catch up. But if we have the patent rights, they will think twice before they, because even if we can't challenge them, maybe that will cost us too much, but someone can acquire us and they can challenge.
Exactly.
They know that. They know that. That's the protection, I think.
Yeah, and it adds some value to the company as well.
Oh yeah, big time, big time. So.
My future hopes is that the article we have been discussing in new technique, new technology, that Malmö continues to be the top emerging city.
Yeah, now we have to give the background. New Technique just put out, I think, an article saying that of all countries in the world, Sweden is number 2 in terms of number of patents per capita. The Finns are number 1, interestingly, but Sweden is number 2. But what we proud ourselves, who cheer for Skåne and Malmö, is that the hottest area in Sweden is Malmö. And this is where we live, and this is where we work, sort of, which is great, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And it's the hottest city in Europe as well.
Fantastic.
Really, yeah.
No, and you are right in the smack of it. And so are we.
Exactly, and so are you, yeah.
Yeah.
So no, I really hope that numbers are gonna keep increasing.
Yeah.
Malmö is making an impact.
So now I have a second, though, to the heart. So what do we hope for most? That Malmö continues to be at the very top, sort of champion in the Europe in terms of patenting, or Malmö winning the Champions League, Malmö FF in soccer. Now we have to choose again. I think this is a toughie for you.
Yeah,
professional or your heart?
I hope that the other partners of the firm are not listening, because I have to say Malmö FF. Yes,
I think you would say that. But why can't you have both, Malin?
No, exactly. Why have to choose?
Yeah, because you already you know the partners are already happy of Malmö being in the champion of Europe when it comes to patenting. And yeah, it might take a few years before they are the champions in Champions League. You first have to get them. But, well, we'll be there next year, won't you? After winning.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll be at the stadium together.
Yeah, I won't sit with all your hooligans. I'll still be with Björn and sort of some more, calm people. No, but it's been good. Malin, thank you so much for volunteering for doing this. Thanks for being a great spirit and with a lot of energy handling our portfolio. I think you're doing a fantastic job, and thanks for all the hard work you've done over the years. Keep it up. We will certainly keep up the innovation flow coming. We keep your company busy. So,
sounds great.
But really, for my bottom of my heart, and have a great 2021. When this interview is aired, it's January 8th, and everybody's coming back from work, and everybody hoping for a great 2021. And
let's hope 2021 will be a better year for everyone.
Yeah. Although that you had a good one, and so did we.
Exactly.
I'm quite happy with 2020, except for not having to go to soccer with you, Malin. And but one thing which has been good, because I live in Helsingborg, is that E6, the highway, has been free. So,
yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, and I'm happy with that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but thank you so much, Malin. And
thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And say hello to all the paralegals in your team, and to Björn and to Rickard and to, I know half of the term. I have one more question. When are we ever coming back to Trolleholm or Trollenäs? Trollenäs or Trolleholm?
Trolleholm.
It's going to happen again.
Yeah, Trolleholm. I'm hoping soon.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I will put that on the agenda.
Yeah, now we put it on tape. So
yeah, exactly.
It's sort of a client request from sort of your one of your big clients with 25 people.
Yeah.
Excellent, Molly.
That's perfect.
Yeah, say hello to everybody. Thanks so much.
Yeah, I will. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.